Travis Wayne Goodsell. Checking out the news. Salt Lake Tribune put out latest from Mormon land. David Noyce, some 3 to 4 hours ago. I clicked on it only because David Duchovny is going to become a Mormon. No, not a real Mormon. He's going to star in a Showtime series. So if you remember Big Love, step aside. Mr. Californication is stepping into the role. Apparently, let's see, where was it? He's going to have 3 wives and 10 children in the Southern California desert. It's based on a book series by some guy. He's going to play the character Bronson Powers, a former Hollywood stuntman who converts to Mormonism and its earlier teachings, in parentheses, thus the 3 wives and 10 children. So he's technically FLDS, like in Big Love. So this ought to be good. Showtime, which is different than HBO, because HBO, it's not porn, it's HBO. So it deals with heartbreaking meditation on family, religion, sex, greed, human nature, and the vanishing environment of the ancient desert. That's from the guy's book on the Amazon description. I think it's Truly Like Lightning is what they're adapting the series from. Or Deadline Reports, or the Peanut Butter Falcon. It's worded weirdly, but I'll definitely want to watch it. And the church will come out and say, "Don't watch it," and that'll provoke Mormons to watch it. And so then they go on to Conference Temple Predictions. I intended to do something like this, but I'm running out of time, aren't I? But I already have latter-day predictions. I did the 1.5-hour video this morning on what I'm expecting the church to be doing according to what they've been doing. And so, yeah, that should scare everybody. But their temple bracket is about where temples will be. And the last time the guy guessed 2 out of 6. Were there only 6? I thought there were 8. But, God. The guy tends to think that it's because of where church growth is. No. The church stopped that under Nelson, because they're putting up temples where there isn't any growth. And it kind of makes you wonder, what the hell are they putting a temple there for? You know, like a major city yet to be determined in Russia. 23,000 before they went dark on the grid? Yeah, there is no membership in Russia. The church has recently sent out 2 new mission presidents to Russia. Isn't that great? So they're sending out mission presidents. We're not supposed to be having missionaries in Russia. Missionaries keep getting arrested in Russia. But yet, the membership is gone from the membership stats on Wikipedia now, because the church will not come out and tell us the stats. So you have to know which site to go to find out. But yeah, the church is not putting temples where there's growth. That used to be how it was done, to be fiscally conservative. You know, if you're showing an increase of those who become elders, well, they're paying tithing, and so therefore you can justify putting a temple out there. Nope, not doing that anymore. So, yeah, that's all part of the land grab before the second coming. If you saw the video this morning, I didn't talk about the land grab part of it, but I did talk about the second coming and how they're going to pull it off. So, yeah, just put out a whole list of places, and I'm sure you'll get at least 2. Dumb. All right. Then they're saying that the church supports LGBTQ rights. Well, you're not putting the IA plus at the end of it like they want you to. So, not really respecting them. But they claim that they adopted protections for LGBTQ individuals from discrimination in housing and employment in 2009. And then they put out a statement just recently when the House passed the Equality Act and said, oh hell no, this invades on our religious freedom. So much for protections for LGBTQ individuals. But that's what you get when you follow Mormon news. They sort of leave out those negative details. Oh, we can't have anything negative. We need faith-promoting experiences. So, a blank slate. Nothing in the news today. Just go have fun, make lemonade. Make sure to pray, pay your tithing. Nothing in the news. That's faith promoting. Oh, no, they did put it in. The Arizona senator backs the proposed Equality Act, which would ban discrimination against people based on sexual orientation and gender identity, which the church opposes it. So yeah, they did put it in there. Good for you guys. You know, they say that they are for people's rights, and freedoms, and liberty, and then they take it all away, just like a Republican would. Oh yeah, sure, I'm doing this tax bill for the poor. When I grew up in Utah as a boy, our family was poor. I'm sick and tired of you deep state Dems telling me that I'm not doing things for the poor. And then the bill turns out to be for the poor, or the rich. They have the video segment of Hatch and Brown going at it. Brown calls him on it and says, this isn't for the poor. And Hatch just blows. He's pissed. And then, sure enough, we find out after it's passed, oh, yeah, it only helped the rich. The church, who then received $32 billion from Russia, which they then laundered into the stock market. Nothing to see here. It's not a crime if the church does it. God. So then they're talking about the lawsuit by James Huntsman. Dude, it's not a donation. There are 10 blessings of paying your tithing. None of it has anything to do with donations. You can't receive those blessings unless you pay. Medical ethics. The Manti Temple, and then Imagine Dragons. gosh. Don't say gosh. There's no such word as gosh. Say God. It's okay. It's not his name. It's a title. And then here's a history of fair, which is incorrect. It was still farms in 1997, because in 1998 I went to farms. They were still using the farms logo when they sent me letters telling me that Joseph Smith is not a translator and that I am banned from communicating with them any further. So, yeah, that's wrong. It was in the early 2000s, after the scandal with farms, because President Gordon B. Hinckley took my side and shut it down and created the Maxwell Institute, which then forced them to, the Peterson guy, to form FAIR. And then FAIR Mormon. Oh, whoops! Jesus Christ is now mad at the title Mormon, so they dropped Mormon from FAIR Mormon, and they're back to FAIR now. God. Wilford Woodruff, best known for his 1890 manifesto marking the beginning of the end of the practice of polygamy. No. The church didn't stop. He didn't really present this to the church in 1890. So there were tattletales to Congress saying the church is still practicing polygamy. So then the Reed Smoot hearings began, and the church had to come out with it again, and then they had to take out John Taylor's revelations on polygamy from the Doctrine and Covenants and put in the that's Wilford Woodruff, Kimball, Spencer W. Kimball, who put it in our 1981 editions of the scriptures. God. It was never a revelation. It was, we are forced by the United States to stop the practice of polygamy. We think that women do not have rights, as they are property and we own them, and we can do with them as we please. And so, yeah, that's the manifesto. Sorry, women, if you thought you had freedom back in those days, your second or third great grandmothers did not. And if they said in their journals they did, they lied, because they didn't want to get kicked out of the church. And then the Joseph Smith Papers Project, which they're still covering up. You have to follow down the links to find out the original writing on the papers. They still refuse to put Nephi. They still have Moroni that visited Joseph Smith. And then the 23rd, 2 days ago, was the anniversary celebrating the execution of John D. Lee, ancestor of Senator Mike Lee, for the Mountain Meadows Massacre. He was the only one charged in it. Church did not excommunicate him. Church didn't even accept responsibility for it. They're just adding to the death to America. How dare you kill one of our own? We will get you in 2024 with our new Kingdom of Deseret that I talked about in the video this morning, an hour and a half long. And so, yeah, here's President Eyring, or Apostle Henry B. Eyring, in 2007. No, he was When did he... He was a counselor to Hinckley, wasn't he? I think he was. Because he had Monson and Irene were his counselors. So it should be President Irene, guys. And then when Monson became president, it was Irene and Uchtdorf. I'm dreaming of a wet noodle hanging from the ceiling wall. But he says, what was done here long ago by members of our church, so at least he's acknowledging all involved, not just John D. Lee, represents a terrible and inexcusable departure. Wow, he's enlightened. He's calling it out. Good for you, President Irene. From Christian teaching and conduct. We're not Christian. We're pre-captivity Jewish Israelite Egyptian. And if you're going, what? Then you haven't read your Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. So we cannot change what happened. We can stop Mike Lee from destroying America. But we can remember and honor those who were killed here. Brigham Young gave the order. And then the Global Music Festival on my birthday. Food bank. There's lots of poor people in Utah that the church is not helping. Temple updates. That's what I went over in the video this morning for Salt Lake. So, yeah, that's the update that I wanted to share with you, because they're not going to tell you the take that I give you. Oh, and not only is this weekend significant as a sign in the heavens, it's a super warm moon. That is awesome. Super moon. Dude, that totally enhances the sign. Wow. So, yeah. You'll have to watch that video I did on it. Is that Johnny Trejo? Looks like Johnny Trejo. What are you doing singing? Let me find that video for you. Slow, very slow. I bought something that was supposed to speed up my Wi-Fi. Yeah, that ain't it. It's a dud. I do not need to be an LDS critic, but prophets do it for me. Only 23 views. Okay, so it's not that interesting to people. Transitioning to apostate underwear didn't catch anybody's eye. It's just one of those things, you know. The church tells us that Adam and Eve wore underwear. Does anybody catch that? No. Alright, so, there she is. Mormon Mile High Club for Palm and Passover Sunday. It only has 35 views. Maybe I put Mile High Club. Maybe nobody knows what that means. I doubt that. But, yeah, I go over the signs you can see the sign. The super moon is there on her shoulders. Put your moon on my shoulders. Hold me in your arms, worm moon. So, yeah. And it's cool because 9 months later, she gives birth in December. I show that picture too. The whole thing was just awesome. Did I forget to click on that to make those bright? Or did I, that is bright. I don't think so. No, it is. Okay, whatever. Looks brighter on the screen. Alrighty. So, yeah, something's going on for Passion Week, Exodus Week. And I don't quite know what it is, but with the church getting slammed with a lawsuit, with him saying it's donation, you're just giving the church an out to dismiss your case. You'd go all in as a protection racket. The 10 blessings of a protection racket. So, alrighty. Super moon. That is awesome.